Lynn Grimm. I'm a diplomat in MDT since 2016. I started my McKenzie journey in the early 90s. That's a long story, but I've progressed my skills and my training over time. I opened my own practice in 2013, and it is a cash-based practice. It's a solo practice. I don't have a staff. So I have a lot of experience with social distancing. Well, the answer to is it easier with MDT is undoubtedly yes, it's much easier. We're trained to be hands-off at all times as much as possible. I do miss using my hands sometimes in the assessment, but that's a rare thing to do anyways. I have been practicing telehealth for the last couple of years, so I'm able to offer my patients the option of telehealth or coming into the clinic. As physical therapists, I think we're highly trained in working around infectious diseases. This is just part of our training from day one. So we're very skilled at that. The one thing that I think we could do as a whole is market better. We're not letting people know that what physical therapy is to begin with. People are confused on what it is. They think it's a certain treatment or a certain, as an MDT, it's a certain exercise. So I think that we could all do a better job of marketing. But as far as this pandemic, I think we're doing as well as we could. You know, we track your outcomes, right? We also use, oh shoot, my mind's blanking a little bit, sorry. But if you're a lower back pain patient, I do use the Roland Morris. I use a yellow flag risk form to identify if there's any chronic pain behaviors that I need to be aware of. So I'll use those. It's a little difficult sometimes when you're doing it on telehealth, but the patients can have the information sent to them and sent back to me. I think I'm somewhat of an expert in social distancing. I have a solo practice. I work by myself, and I also live in a very rural area of Orleans Parish or New Orleans. That is, I can't see my neighbors. I live in the woods. I'm here by myself. My children are grown. As far as my husband, he's home a little bit more than normal, and we're dealing with that. But anyways, what I try to do is, one, try to go to bed early, try to get up early, get up with the sun, calm down with the sun, try to stay offline as much as possible. But in these times, we're online way more than normal, even in a practice that does telehealth. I'm visiting more with friends online, and through MDT, you know, we have friends all over the world, right? Through my work with the mechanical care everywhere, I've made really good friends all over the world. So staying in contact with people like that requires you to be online more, or on your phone more, or texting more. So I try to balance that by going outside and getting away from technology. So I've used a trick throughout the years that has really helped me. When I'm at home and it's not work related, I do a 15 minutes on and a 15 minutes off. So 15 minutes on with technology, then 15 minutes off, or 15 minutes on with a work related activity, something that I'm trying to catch up on versus not doing it. So seems to work for me, and this time it keeps me focused. Oh my gosh, I am the continuing education queen. I love to do repeat courses with the Institute, and of course that's on hold right now, at least in the flesh. But the website is great. If you haven't been on the website, I highly recommend that you take a look around. The webinars, the mentoring webinars are great. The research page is great. If there's some focus in your practice that you want to work on, you can concentrate on kind of reviewing those articles, which I've been doing. I use MedBridge a lot. There are some McKenzie courses, like introductory courses on MedBridge, but I'm really using it to refine some of my orthopedic skills and kind of learning what other people are doing out there so that we can have decent conversations about it. So I know they have an OCS preparatory course on MedBridge that, you know, if you've got the time, I highly recommend doing that. Well, if I were to say the one thing about MDT is this has prevented me to stress out about how I practice physical therapy. I solely practice MDT. That's all I do. So when this came up, I didn't have to change how I practice physical therapy. I may have to change the venue. Am I doing it in-house, 6 feet apart, or am I doing it online? That's changed. But that's one thing that I have not worried about a bit. So I think that if you're not exposed to MDT, I think it's time that you took a closer look because this has been ideal, the transition.